You guys know damn well that many of the foods in the supermarkets contain constituents, contain ingredients that aren't being disclosed on the label, right? So I've got to be really careful about saying what I'm about to say because, guys, YouTube, it's real hard to be completely open about certain things without risk of your channel being literally hit with a strike or fucking deleted. So people who want to say that, oh, Sacred Serpent, bro, you're only scraping the tip of the iceberg with your content. What's the deal, man? What's the deal? Why aren't you talking about a lot of these things? Well, guys, I know firsthand what it's like to get strikes on the channel. You get 3 strikes, you're gone. All the content's deleted. You aren't even given, a chance to back it all up. Luckily, I've backed everything up. I've got it all, my channel on multiple external hard drives, other computers, etc., etc. So I'm prepared if something's to happen, but it sucks not being able to fucking speak your damn mind, right? It really fucking sucks. Because there's so much that needs to be talked about that, it's like YouTube's become a hedge maze, right? So with that aside, there's a particular something, a gene therapy, starts with an M, right? Ends with an A. I think you can fill in the dots. That they're putting in the food, guys. So they're making it remarkably difficult for people who are conscious to find a way around the poisoning, right? And this is one of the reasons why I believe personally intermittent fasting is so important. Because through fasting, we can give our body time to heal, give our body time to regenerate. We can give our body time to go into autophagy, also known as autophagy. I call it autophagy. And this process allows our body to recycle dead proteins, eat up old genetic material. It also allows us to regenerate tissue. So with autophagy, you're actually self-consuming yourself. That's what autophagy means, self-consumption. I believe it's a Greek word. What are you talking about, Sacred Serpent? Why would I want my body to eat itself? Well, folks, your body intelligently eats waste in the absence of food and uses it as a fuel source and or kicks it out of your system. See the ingenious nature of the human body? It's a total miracle worker. But we spend so much time digesting that most people will go their whole life, folks, never experiencing the magic of fasting unless they're sick. And what does the body oftentimes do when you're sick? Well, it kills all appetite because the body needs a break from digestion so that it can undergo healing through autophagy. So go check out my recent video on fasting, intermittent fasting. It's called Heated Rant Against Those Who Claim Intermittent Fasting is Dangerous. And I think it was, let me just check here real quick. Someone left a really good comment. Maybe I'll read a few. Let's see. Let me just find this, guys. Bear with me. Okay, so Anthony 2453 had an excellent comment on my, again, heated rant against those claiming intermittent fasting is dangerous. He says, just to build on Brandon's list of intermittent fasting benefits, men can increase endogenous HGH by up to 2,000% and women up to 1,600%. Again, this is his comment, not mine. Excellent comment. Number 2, increased testosterone. Number 3, increased stem cell production. 4, stimulates autolysis, i.e. healing at the cellular level. 5, all of the above with the inclusion of autophagy, as already mentioned, reduces and even reverses the symptoms of aging, not only extending our lifespan, but increasing the likelihood of staying healthy and decreases and disease-free for longer. I kind of butchered his last point there. He says, check out Vegan Strongman Eats One Meal a Day on YouTube. Whilst I'm no longer vegan myself, all the health benefits of intermittent fasting are listed along with all the research to back it up. He says it's truly mind-blowing in the best possible way. So hopefully he doesn't have an issue with me reading that comment on this video. I can't imagine that he would. But yes, the fasting, the intermittent fasting, as well as prolonged fasting, but in this situation, I'm referring to intermittent fasting. It's really going to help your body recycle and deal with these additives that are not only in the foods that we're eating. And again, I don't think that I think there's a handful of constituents in the foods that we're eating on a regular basis where the manufacturer doesn't have to completely disclose everything that's in it, right? There's something that's similar that's going on as well and has been for many years with vaccines, non-disclosure, vaccines. So the core of what operates this matrix is insidious. And it doesn't take a genius to realize that they're trying to poison us on multiple levels, guys. I mean, come on. Let's pay attention here. Let's really look at things without our blinders off, and let's do it with some strength, right? Why has everybody got to fucking act like anytime you talk about something that people are just afraid of the truth? Let's put it that way. You see, you're supposed to be courageous here, right? If you have a connection to God, if you have a connection to that inner spark within you, you're going to have courage. You're going to want to uncover the truth. You're not going to want to live under a rock. Why? Just because it makes your life a little bit easier? You see, the sheep don't want to know the truth, and because of that, they actively ignore the truth. And by ignoring the truth, they get to live in a la-la land bubble, kind of like Cypher in the Matrix. Ignorance is bliss. It is bliss. And why is ignorance bliss? Because when you're not aware of certain things, you're not aware of them. And when you're not aware of those particular things, you liveth in ignorance. Your awareness is not anchored to the reality of things, which allows you to navigate through life however you want. Kind of like in the Matrix film, if you take the blue pill, you can go back to sleep and believe whatever you want to believe. If you take the red pill, you're going to have to know the truth. And that really should be the first and foremost foundation that we live our lives on, wanting to know the truth. Otherwise, what's the point of being here, guys? Right? And at least that's my opinion. And you may think I sound crazy by saying that, but it is what it is, and everyone's entitled to their opinions. But it is true that by living in ignorance, it can be blissful. Another reason why ignorance is blissful is because when you're unaware of things, you can kind of just float down the river. You don't have to realize the truth and go, what the fuck is going on here? I got to get out of this fucking river. You got to swim up current, and that takes effort. I've used that analogy a handful of times over the years. But the truth is out there. And to get back on track, the fasting is really going to help you deal with toxic additives. And, you know, some people will say, oh, just go eat from the farm, bro. Go buy all your meat from the farm. That's not realistic for everyone here, folks. I'm trying to promote a message that's realistic for everyone. I'm not just trying to appeal to a small percentage of people that have that luxury. Not everybody has a fucking farm nearby, and not all the farms, for instance, are raising the cattle and the livestock properly. They're still giving them hormones, antibiotics, and vaccines. They're still sometimes even feeding them the corn, soy, and wheat. See what I'm saying? This is a nightmare mess. This earth, can be a utopia. But we've got to make a huge change if we want to turn it from the dystopia that it's becoming and has become already. We've got to make a huge change to turn this world into a utopia. And you can be all nihilistic and faith deprived and act like this is just the end of everything. It's end times. All is over. Da 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 da. You can think that all you want and just roll over and let the wolves eat your innards out. But my God, I'm not going to forfeit my will to that until it happens, if it does. I believe that we can absolutely change things around because I'm privy to the power of the human mind. The human mind is one of the most potent things in this fucking universe. folks. We just don't realize that because we don't know how to use our minds. We've never been given a glimpse to anything of or relating to the mind beyond the conscious mind, right? We don't know how vast and infinite the collective consciousness is, and we are all intimately connected in the vast internet of mental activity through the subconscious. Hate to say it, we are all one mind, essentially, you guys. Kind of like that Tool song, Reflection. You will come to find that we are all one mind, capable of all that's conceivable. It's true. It is 100% true, guys. But not in this current state that we're in, where we're in a state of hypnosis. So, guys, I just did a video on activated charcoal. I'd highly suggest picking yourself up a bottle of that. You can also make a potent activated charcoal detox potion by mixing equal parts of charcoal to sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate, a lot of misinformation about it. It's literally one of the healthiest things in the supermarket. And it's also one of the cheapest. But people think it's a poison because it's found in the laundry detergent section. Right? I've got some right here. Got some Bob's Red Mill pure baking soda, aluminum free. This little box I've had for over a year. Once or twice a week, I'll take a tiny little bit of that, 1/4 of a teaspoon to 1/2 of a teaspoon. More often than not, after I've gone on a run and I've got my blood moving in my body, I'm circulating the blood, the river of life. It can be a very beneficial thing to take these pro-detoxitive constituents after exercise, or even before and or after, or both, sitting in the sauna and sweating. You see, you want to get rid of some toxins out of your system? Fasting is a great way to do that. On the cellular level, the genetic level, etc. But you want to excrete some toxicity out of your system, then a sauna is going to be a damn good option. Steam room, you name it. And far infrared saunas are available. Not all of them are safe, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you've got to approach this gingerly. But there are tools that you can use to sweat. And you can... Why do you think the sweat lodge is so profound? The natives used them. And what's interesting is if you hear what the natives said about the sweat lodges, they didn't just do it to detox poisons. They reached a certain state of gnosis through sweating. Right? It was even part of some tribe's vision quest, the sweat lodge. We have a modern rendition of that that's nowhere near as powerful as the organic thing, the real sweat lodge, and these are saunas, steam rooms, etc. These open the lungs up. These allow you to excrete excessive mucus. You're softening the tissues with heat. You're sweating. You're removing gunk out of your system. You know, a good session in a sauna can be equivalent to a 3 to 7 day water fast. Right? But I'm not suggesting that you go out and do this because I have to stay safe and, put all these stupid disclaimers all over everything. Because there's traps laid for people who suggest these things. See what I'm saying? You see, big pharma, allied with government, wants to control every part of our lives. And we have the processed food manufacturers, these mega corporations that have been lobbying government since processed foods hit the market, right? We have them working hand in hand. It's fucking embarrassing. I think it's Domino's, you guys, that has what was it called? I can't remember. It's like the healthy slice or something. Or I think it's Domino's. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're bringing pizza with whole wheat, dough into the schools with less sodium and some vegetables on it. And they're saying that this is a fucking health food, right? Again, the mega corporations, the processed food manufacturers have been lobbying and influencing government for 50, 60, 70 plus years. And you can see this reflected, you can see the reality of this through the education system. You should see the abominative foods that are at many of these schools. You know, and this is how we're raising the youth. And I used to think that, you know, I used to want all the junk food when I was even in high school. You know, freshman, junior, senior, or freshman, sophomore, junior year, I wanted all the junk. I wanted the fucking processed soy burgers that was mixed with beef, with the fake American cheese and the bread on it. And I remember when there was talk in the schools of the food programs becoming healthier, or there was a push for it, my friends and I fucking couldn't stand the idea. Right? And looking back at it now, it's like, what the fuck? Why would I not want the food to be healthy, right? Well, it's because I didn't understand food's effect on the mind and the body, as well as the kundalini. But the sad thing is that the health foods that they were pushing for to bring into the school programs were garbage. You know, they were fucking garbage. Full of additives, full of preservatives, etc. So, you know, my mother is friends with a bunch of ex-coworkers who recently had children within the past 6-7 years, and their kids are going through the grade school system. And it's pretty embarrassing, you guys, what my mother's friends are telling her about not only what they're doing with the food. They're serving everyone shit. But the propaganda, the political propaganda, all this woke nonsense, it's guys, I've said it once, and I'm going to say it again. They're coming after the youth. Why? Because the youth is our future. And it's becoming exceedingly difficult for these young children with all the mind control, the smartphones, the inundation, electromagnetic pollution, etc., to read between the lines and see what's going on here. And it's the adult's responsibility to help these kids grow up to responsible, capable, intelligent, and enlightened children. Our kids are supposed to be faster and smarter than us, not fatter and dumber, right? But we've got programs, and I think it was Domino's. What the fuck does Domino's? What the fuck do they have to be in schools for, right? And they uphold the food pyramid logic in these schools. And the food pyramid, guys, is a blood sugar spiking, chronic, pro-inflammatory diet. If you follow that. In fact, the bottom fucking bracket, or the bottom portion of the pyramid, you have to ask yourself why they used a pyramid too. But the bottom portion of the pyramid, you guys, the food that you're supposed to be eating the most of, according to the USDA guidelines, breads, cereals, pastas, refined grains, whole grains, processed carbohydrates, etc. It's nonsense. Foods that are full of gluten. Gluten, the destroyer proteins, I call them. Gliadin and gluten, the two main proteins in this large family of proteins, which is gluten. Your body can't digest these. I'm sorry, hate to burst your bubble. Just because you shit it out the next day didn't mean you digested it. Digestion means maximum assimilation of nutrients. Gluten proteins are almost impossible for the stomach acid to break apart the chemical bonds that hold these proteins together, these amino acid structures, by way of chemical bonds. They're daisy-chained together. The stomach acid has a very difficult time breaking these apart. So you now ferry into your small intestine through your stomach, partially broken down but not completely broken down gluten proteins that now destroy your microvilli colonies, which are your absorptive tissues that your body, the ingenious God machine that it is, uses to assimilate nutrients after they've been pre-digested and broken apart by the stomach. See what's going on? Even my cat agrees. This is a nightmare scenario. And I find it really strange, you guys, that there's all sorts of cell phone towers, elf towers, Gwen towers, etc., positioned around most of these schools. You see, I'm pretty active. I run around town all the time, barefoot. I do a lot of cardio. And some of my runs, I go on these trails, and the trails are conveniently kind of like right next to these schools, these middle schools and these elementary schools. And the one down the street's got a gigantic fucking cell phone tower with a bunch of micro cells on it, probably 30 of them. You should see this thing. It looks like something that you'd find in Mordor, like a futuristic version of Mordor. keep all the orcs and the minions in line. And we know through research, you guys, that these cell phone towers, these microcells, these ELF towers, etc., can actually produce wavelengths that can influence thoughts and minds in a good way or in a bad way even. These invisible carrier waves can influence the body to become agitated by way of affecting and stimulating cells, the brain. You see, the brain constantly produces brain waves. You can introduce into those pre-existing brain waves that are being produced endogenously exogenous waves, carrier waves that now matriculate or manipulate your natural organic brainwave activity. Wow. What a mess. So there is an enemy here. There is. And it's like, oh, Sacred Serpent, here he goes again, talking about scary stuff. Don't be a pussy. Long story short. I mean, this is just ridiculous. What has happened to the men? Look at these fragile-framed men nowadays. They're creating an estrogenic society. Or they're putting soy, toxic seed oils, all sorts of bastardized bullshit in the food. And we're taught, we're raised in this culture to believe that those are the health foods, right? We're taught that these seed oils, vegetable oils, are healthy. There's not a single vegetable in vegetable oil. Why is it called that? It's a mixture of canola, rapeseed, corn, and soy oil. Guys, it's what shitty restaurants use to cook food because they want to save money so that they can maximize their profits. And that's everything everyone's interested in nowadays, right? It's just money, money, money. Cocksucking fucking money. Where you're willing to poison your own people. You're willing to poison the children. You're willing to poison the elderly. And hell, you're probably even willing to poison yourself just to make some extra fucking money. Dead trees with Masons printed on them. Money that doesn't even have backing by gold and silver, right? You should look up Executive Order 0111. Executive Order 0111. Or is it Executive Order 01111? I can't remember. Strongly appears to be what got Kennedy killed. Because wasn't it Kennedy that wanted to back money with gold and silver? I don't think the Federal Reserve liked that very much. And the Federal Reserve largely runs the show. Catch my drift? What a mess. But the seed oils, we're taught to believe that these are healthy, that we need these. We're taught to believe that a high carbohydrate, low fat, moderate protein diet is what the body needs. You see, for thousands and thousands of years, we never ate this way of eating. We never ate like this, you guys. And in the past 200 years, well, it's less than 200 years, look at what has happened ever since the Industrial Revolution really gained its second wave of traction and started producing mass quantities of processed, refined carbohydrate foods that were full of processed sugar, full of nonsense. See what I'm saying? Let me just backtrack there a little bit. Look at what's happened ever since the processed foods really gained traction. Right around that time, when stuff on conveyor belts started being produced en masse for the populations, there were dietary guidelines that were altered. The food pyramid changed. And suddenly, a high to moderate fat culture with moderate protein in a lower amount of carbs, that was converted to a high carbohydrate, low fat, moderate protein diet. Guys, your brain's made of fat. And your brain doesn't need vegetable seed oil fat. Seed oil fats, right? Palm oil, canola oil, rape seed oil. You know, it's kind of convenient, or kind of strange, that one of the worst seed oils that you could put into your body is called rapeseed. I mean, you're telling me that's just by accident? And look at what it does to the body. It rapes your vitality. It's an intruder that comes in and takes from you while giving nothing back. See what I'm saying? What a mess. What a mess. High carbohydrate, low fat diet is what a human body needs. Yet ever since that gained enough traction for it to be adopted by the masses, the statistics for bad health have skyrocketed in the wrong direction. Obesity, heart disease, atherosclerosis, cholesterol issues, all this nonsense. You get the cholesterol issues when you mix the fats and the proteins with excessive amounts of refined carbohydrates. Sorry, it's just how it works, guys. Cholesterol, you need cholesterol to produce testosterone. You need fat to produce testosterone, which is why they're demonizing it, because they want men weak. They want women weak too. It's written on the walls. It's plain to see. Even a blind man could see this, guys. So how do we deal to get back on track with undisclosed constituents that are poisoning us that the manufacturers don't have to put on the label? Well, guys, my suggestion, intermittent fasting is one of the most important things we can do. We also want to try to raise our own livestock if we can, grow our own food, you name it, and get food from people in our own town, right? Farmers markets. I have a farmer, I'm not going to say where I live, locally, that I can go get grass-fed, grass-finished, pretty much any part of the cow. And yeah, the prices are a little extreme, but I'm willing to pay that. I don't always have the money to do that, though, so I do the next best thing. Sometimes I have to go to Costco. Sometimes I have to shop at Safeway or Kroger. And I don't care if anyone wants to demonize me for doing that. There's a good chance that if you're over there in your ivory tower, you're doing things that don't even, you're contradicting yourself. It's hard to avoid this nonsense nowadays, you guys. And just because it's a local rancher or farmer, that does not mean they're not fucking pumping their livestock full of hormones, antibiotics, and vaccines. Pay attention. Pay the fuck attention. So the fasting, as well as the absorptive and adsorptive constituents like the charcoal, these are going to help you get some of the stuff out of your alimentary tract, you guys. Charcoal can absorb thousands of times its own weight. It's been said that a teaspoon of properly activated coconut charcoal from coconut husks it has the surface area of a fucking tennis court. A tennis court, guys. This is why you don't need as much as some people are saying you do. The stuff can actually pull minerals out of your system and can do some damage if you take too much of it. The key is in the dose. The key is in the dose. So I take 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams once a week on an empty stomach with usually 16 to 18 ounces of water, sometimes 12. You want to take the stuff on an empty stomach, and this is just a piece to the puzzle. What about the sweating? What about the exercise, you guys? Sweating eliminates poisons. And I also suggest eating all of your meals with a digestive enzyme, because not only will digestive enzymes help you break apart proteins, carbs, and fats so that you can digest them and get maximum assimilation from them, but it'll also help break apart toxic constituents so that you can kick them out of your system. I like bromelain. It's a digestive enzyme that's extracted from pineapples. I also like pancreatin. I like Source Naturals essential digestive enzymes. I also like Onnit's Digest Tech. Only problem with Onnit products is they're fucking expensive. And I don't know why they can't lower their prices. It's not like they can't get away with it. I think they'd do a lot more business if they lowered their prices, It's not like they're not getting the raw materials to make Alpha Brain and whatnot for cheap. I'll still continue to talk in high esteem about Alpha Brain, and I take it almost every day because it's an amazing thing to take for your brain. What do you mean Alpha Brain, bro? You trying to be an alpha? That has nothing to do with why it's called Alpha Brain. It helps you stimulate alpha brain waves, folks. Pay attention. I'm going to wrap this one up. Peace be with you.